I mean, good morning. This is U.S. History. It's February 4th, 2021. I'm your instructor, Mr. Townsend. So good morning to the people that are new to Yes Philly. Welcome to our classes. I've heard that I'm one of the better teachers as far as boredom. So I will do my best to not let you fall asleep early in the morning. So this is U.S. History. I'm just going to give you some guidelines real quick on class, on expectation, your summit codes, your Zoom links. And then we're going to delve into the Constitution, just a little bit of the Constitution, kind of put our toe in the water today and see what you guys know, kind of a pre-assessment, what you understand about the framework of the Constitution. And then we will do a little assessment. We'll probably watch a short video on the Bill of Rights. And so let's go from there. So I'm going to pull up a screen. I have a presentation ready for first day students that haven't met yet. And this is just let me see. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to share the screen. If you have a pencil or paper, you might want to use it. If you want to use the notes section in your phone, you're going to need that today. So if you don't have a pencil or paper, I would suggest grabbing one today. You'll probably need it. Okay, so this is just an orientation slide for my course. I know that some of you might have world history too, so we'll cover, two birds with one stone. So good morning. Wake up and stretch those muscles. One thing you'll learn about Mr. Townsend is I like cats, even as irritating as my own cat is. Not Miss Cat, the actual cats itself. She just happens to be named after a feline. Okay. So our agenda is to just say good morning. We'll probably do a little bit of introductions. Then I want to do summit codes, your Zoom links, and have your understanding of daily labs. I'm going to give you the expectation for my course. Make sure that you're on the email list. I think I have everybody in class because Miss Cat gave me that extra email that I needed. Short video, we'll probably deviate from that a little bit, a short video on the Bill of Rights, and then just kind of getting our toe in the water. I'm not going to drown you in constitutional law first thing in the morning. Just a little bit of toe dipping into the water of constitutional thought. Okay, so introductions. If we could just go around, most kids that I know, if you want to tell me, let me see, is there anyone I don't know or... Let's see. Mark, your name's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to go through, students, if you want to just share something with yourself to me or the group, you can put it in chat. But just about me, real quick, I'll go first, put myself on the spot. My name is Mr. Townsend. You can call me Mr. T or Mr. J. It doesn't matter. I am a master educator and I have a bachelor's in social work. I'm a certified teacher in social studies. Like I said, my master's is in urban education. Just for the record, I attended Temple and I attended Alvernia University. I've also had 5 years of biblical training. I served in the Marine Corps. I'm a father of 2 and I live here in Philadelphia. So Nazir, tell us something about yourself that we may not know if you don't mind.
I don't really know what to say.
That's okay. Could you tell us how old you are?
18.
Okay. So Nazir is an adult. So we learned something new about Nazir. Easy enough. Mark, welcome to Yes Philly. Is there anything that you would mind sharing with the group about yourself? Maybe something interesting about yourself?
I like to watch football.
Like to watch football. Me too, bud.
Are we doing this on like a checkpoint?
Hi, Meadow. No,
Hi.
this is just your first checkpoint will be coming up at the end of the week. Are you at work right now?
No, I'm
Okay.
home.
No, just doing some introductions for some of the students that may have not may not know each other from school. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead and tell me something about yourself or something interesting about yourself, if you like.
That was it.
Oh, okay. That's it. All right. Cool. How we doing, Miss Pleasant? You awake? Deja. Hey, yo, Deja. I guess you can't hear me. Nakaya. You there, Nakaya?
I'm here.
Okay, good morning. Is there anything you want to share about yourself?
No.
Okay, I don't blame you. All right, Bev.
Not this time.
Kalia.
I don't know.
There's nothing.
My name Kalia.
That's so original. Blow me away with that fact. I'm sorry, Jaden, you asked a question inside the chat. What is biblical training? It means that I technically am a trained minister. I went to Bible college for several years, but I decided not to become a minister when I got out of school. If that helps. Let's see. Did I get everybody? Jaden, is there anything you want to share about yourself? I know you're new to Yes Philly.
I turned 17 in October, and I'm not a morning person.
Okay. So remember not to put you on the spot in the morning, okay? All right, thanks everybody. Meadow, anything? If you say your name is Meadow, we're gonna fight.
My name is Meadow. I work at a nursing home. That's really about it.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. Thank you guys all for showing up. Okay, not a problem. All right, so these are our Summit codes. So for this course, we all need to be registered on Summit. I know some of us are new. For the new students, have they explained what Summit is? It's a learning platform that we use here at Yes Philly. All your assignments will go through Summit. So give me a thumbs up in the box if you are already registered for Summit.
I still didn't do them. I still got to do it, but I'm gonna do it later.
Okay. Do you want to take everybody just take a, if you didn't
I
register?
took a screenshot. Yeah.
Yeah, please. That's what I'm saying. Take a screenshot. I am putting the code in the chat now. If you have any problems understanding that, me or Miss Cat will be glad to help you get registered on Summit. So that's our Summit code. Okay, so what about Zoom links? Do we all have our Zoom links where we know to go for classes?
So, in this list right here, these Zoom links for where it says the teacher's names, I use that to enter my my homeroom too.
Yes. Homeroom is basically the first class that you have in the morning. Or it's a group that you meet with on Wednesdays for mentoring. I can send, I have an altered list in a Word document. If anybody wants me to send them the codes for Zoom. So if anybody needs the code links, please put a message in the chat now and I will send you an email. I have all the Zoom codes.
They don't just send it to the email no more?
I'm not sure, Nazir. I'm just making sure that all my students have it. Okay, so Nakaya needs it. All right, so
I need it too.
Okay, anyone else need a comprehensive list of all of our Zoom links? Yes, Jaden, I will send you the Summit codes. Actually, the Summit codes are included on the Zoom links, Jaden, so I'm gonna send you the same thing. Anyone else need the Summit or Zoom links? Let me know in chat. Ms. Cat, I'm gonna jump over to another screen to send these 3 students the links. If anyone else puts anything in chat, can just let me know so I can send it to them, please.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I have Nakaya. Nakaya, what's your last name again? Is it Moore? Yes. Okay, Nakaya
Yes.
Moore. Jaden, your last name is Crawford, right? And then Mr. Jenkins. And Jenkins. Okay. So the email that I'm sending you now just simply will say links, and those will be a listing of all your Zoom links and all the summit codes. So it's going to say the document that's attached will say Zoom link term 3. So I just sent that to you. Morning. Is it Lama? Am I saying that right, Lama? If I'm not, please correct me. All right, let me show you the document I just sent you guys. Once you get it, just please let me know that you have it. So this was what you should have got in your email. It should look like this. On the top, you should have all the summit codes for your courses. And down the bottom, you should have for your classes, your electives, and then the Yes Philly Center. So you have the business and entrepreneurship, your photo and video. I guess that's, I don't know much about those down there at the bottom.
We're
So
supposed to click that link.
yeah, the hyperlink should work. But this is like a comprehensive list for everything at Yes Philly, this unit. Excuse me. So Nazir, did you get that? Jaden, Nakaya, did you get the
Yeah.
okay. For any of the students that came in, do you need any of the links before we go any further? If you decide that later on in the lesson that you need it, just let me know. Okay. All right. So we're going to go back to our intro here. So that's all the Zoom links. So my expectations. Okay. Your job as the student is to show up for class. That's the best thing that you can do for yourself, is to show up for class. If you're going to miss a day, that is my information right there. I know a lot of teachers don't give out their personal cell phones, but quite frankly, I don't care. If you need to call me, you call me. I am a late person. I didn't even actually sleep last night. So if you want to call me, feel free to give me a call on my cell phone. And then we have the email there for Yes Philly. Because your attendance will be part of your grade. I know that this medium is not fun. I get it. We're all stuck in this. At least you don't have to wake up in the morning and throw a camera on your just woken up face like we do. At least you get to hide behind the camera a little bit. So please come to class on a consistent basis. If you're unable to attend class, let me know. If you come to class and I am not here, which is a possibility, if you come to class and I'm not here, then you need to reach out to whoever your mentor is, okay? So if you have Miss Hickson as a mentor, reach out to her. If Mr. Vallone, or is it Mr. Ty to you guys, if he's not available, if I'm not available, please reach out to him. So I have one question for you guys, and the question is, Is there anything that you would like to learn during this course that interests you about United States history? Is there anything that you've been interested in, that you've been wondering about, that I can incorporate into my curriculum for you? And that's an open question for everybody. I also want you to think about what's the best medium for you. And when I say medium, I'm talking about the way that you learn. Do you learn better as hearing something? You're an audio learner or an audible learner. Are you visually inclined, which means when you see things, are you able to memorize them better if you watch a video of it or a documentary? Or are you an individual reader, individual learner? We're all a little bit different in our learning styles. And that will help me cater to you as students. All right, so this is just an icebreaker before we jump into our Constitution, which I know you're so excited to learn about because it's probably the most exciting thing in all of the world, right? That silence is deafening, folks. No. Well, hopefully in the next 9 weeks, you'll learn. If you look behind me, right here on my wall, teaching wall here, I have 2 documents. Well, that's in my board there. But your document on the left is the Constitution, and the document on the right is the Bill of Rights. And the paper above it is the Emancipation Proclamation. You will learn through the course of U.S. history how these parchments, I know they look old, and I know it's not a fun subject to delve into. But without these documents, most of the people in this room, we wouldn't have our freedom. We wouldn't have our rights. Now, that's still up in the air as people of color in America, whether we do have equal rights. That's a whole class that we'll talk about. But those documents are the reason that we're here as a country. So I'm going to pull up the Bill of Rights. So somebody tell me, what is the Bill of Rights? Not all at once. What's the Bill of Rights? This is your turn, folks. I know what the Bill of Rights is. What is the Bill of Rights? Someone can answer it in chat. If you're a brave soul, you can ask, you can speak out loud. What is the Bill of Rights? What is our idea? What ideas do we have about the Bill of Rights?
It's the first 10 amendments.
Thank you, Jaden. Appreciate it. Thank you. Good. So the Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution of the United States. Does anyone know any of the Bill of Rights? Does anyone know any of the first 10 amendments?
Freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom to bear arms, freedom to protect yourself.
Okay, those first 3 were part of the First Amendment. And then you threw a little bit of the Second Amendment in there. That's good. Let's add to it. So is that all the Bill of Rights entails? Is our right to free speech?
No.
Okay. What other rights are given in the Bill of Rights? They're all freedoms.
What? Can you say that question again?
What other rights besides, freedom of press or freedom of speech does the Bill of Rights provide?
Um, I don't know. I want to say I don't want to say the wrong thing.
That's all right. There's one thing about this course, okay? I want you to feel that you can never say the wrong thing, okay? Your mind is learning in a learning process, so there's no such thing as the wrong thing, all right? Thank you for responding, but there's no such thing as the wrong thing. Let's see, I got somebody in chat that's brave. Who's the brave soul? Okay, cool. Assembly and religion. So on that note, since we're not that familiar with the Bill of Rights, I'll back it up a little bit. I have a short video on the Bill of Rights. And since we're not too, it's a 3-minute guide to the Bill of Rights. It's a TED talk. Let me put this on.
How great is it that we get to tell everybody how Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need?
I did it. I made.
can't see the video.
Yeah, I know. I was skipping the Liberty Mutual commercial there.
Okay. $1 million in my business this year, all from one.
The first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution, also known as the Bill of Rights, were ratified or passed over 200 years ago. But even though they're a bit, old, these first 10 amendments are still the most debated and discussed section of our Constitution today. So can you remember what they are? Let's take a look. The First Amendment is the freedom of speech, press, religion, assembly, and petition. This may be the most revered of the amendments. The First Amendment protects our rights to say and write our opinions, worship how we please, assemble together peacefully, and petition our government if we feel the need. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. The original intent of the Second Amendment was to protect colonists from the invading British soldiers, but it now guarantees that you have the right to own a gun to defend yourself and your property. The Third Amendment is called the Quartering Amendment. It was written in response to the British occupation and as a result of the colonists having to house or quarter soldiers in their homes during the American Revolution. Because of this amendment, our government can never force us to house soldiers in our home. The Fourth Amendment is the right to search and seizure. The police can't come into our home without a search warrant and take our personal property. Today, many concerns have arisen about our rights to privacy and technology. For example, can the government track your location with your smartphone, or can social media postings such as on Facebook and Twitter be used without a warrant? On to the fifth. It's all about due process. You've probably heard the phrase, "I plead the fifth," in movies or on TV. They're talking about the Fifth Amendment, which says that you don't have to take the witness stand against yourself if you may end up incriminating yourself. Okay, we're halfway done. The Sixth and Seventh Amendments are about how the legal system works. If you're accused of a crime, you have the right to a speedy public trial and an impartial jury. You also have the right to a lawyer and the right to take the stand if you choose. This is important because it will prevent the accused from sitting in prison forever and insists that the prosecution proceed with undue delay. The Seventh says you have the right to a jury trial where 12 impartial peers decide your innocence or guilt in the courtroom, as opposed to a judge doing it all alone. The Eighth Amendment prohibits cruel and unusual punishment. Is a death penalty cruel? Is it unusual? It's hard for Americans to agree on the definitions of cruel and unusual. The Ninth and 10th Amendments are called the non-rights amendments. They say that the rights not listed in the Bill of Rights are retained by the people in the states. You have other rights that are not listed in the Constitution, and the states have the right to make their own policies, like instituting state taxes. So now you know all 10 amendments. Can you remember them all? If not, remember this. The Bill of Rights are a crucial piece of American history. And though society has undergone many changes these past 200 and some years, the interpretation and application of these amendments are as vital today as they were when they were written.
Okay. So that was a short video on the Bill of Rights. So someone tell me something else that the Bill of Rights provides you.
Wait, can you? I was going to ask, can you run it back when she was talking about the government being able to like hack your phone and stuff? She didn't even answer that question.
Are you talking about the Fourth Amendment? Let me go back real quick. Let's see. Here we go. I'm gonna play it again. Okay, give me a second.
The police can't come into our home without a search warrant and take our personal property. Today, many concerns have arisen about our rights to privacy and technology. For example, can the government track your location with your smartphone, or can social media postings such as on Facebook and Twitter be used without a warrant? On to the fifth.
Okay. So, Kalia, what was your concern with that, the Fourth Amendment?
Basically, it sounded like she pleaded the fifth to the question about can the government track your iPhone or like Android.
Okay, so since it's relevant to our conversation, can the government track your phone?
I think they can.
Okay, do they? Yes or no? Oh, obviously, let me ask two-part question. Can the government track your phone, and is it legal?
No, it's not.
Allow it, and people allow it and don't know it.
There you go, Jaden. How many of you students have social media like Instagram or Facebook or anything like that? None of you students have social media. I find that hard to believe.
I was about to say probably everybody in here.
Probably everybody. Okay.
I do.
Okay. I just learned a week ago, actually, that Facebook was tracking everything that you do. There's a way to turn it off. I had no idea that they were tracking your offline use too. Tracking your phone is a conundrum because you voluntarily, how many people leave their location services on their phone?
I do. I share locations, but like most of my friends.
Okay, so theoretically, Janae, you are giving the government your location willingly, aren't you?
Basically.
Yes, you are. Every person has an individual IP address. What does that mean? You have an IP address. If you don't believe me, go on your phone and you'll find it. We all are walking around with digital trackers on ourselves. The government doesn't need a warrant because we're providing the information willingly to them. So we learned that the Fourth Amendment is a legal search and seizure. Let's review the amendments real quick and the Bill of Rights. And when you're done class for today, just for those people that may be half asleep or not paying attention, I am going to ask you to respond and let me know one of the Bill of Rights before you leave class today. So I would pay attention, okay?
You saying the so flip phones and all that got checkers? Even the older phones and stuff?
All of them. I mean, I could simply show you inside your phone. It's your location services. You're leaving a GPS navigator on yourself at all times. How many people have an Alexa? Does anyone have an Alexa?
I don't, but my mom do.
Do you realize that Alexa is recording everything you say?
Like the little speaker thing?
Yes.
Okay, I got a Google Home. They probably do that too. I just turn my speaker off on it though.
It doesn't matter.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, being a history teacher, I would be remiss to tell you this, that in the 1960s, the United States government, in correlation with the CIA and the FBI, had a dream to put listening devices in every house in America. And people said, no way, it's an invasion of my privacy. I'm not going to allow you to put a listening device in my home. Exactly, Jaden. It's actively listening for its name, so it has to be on, regardless if the speaker's on. But in the 1960s, they wanted to put listening devices in every single citizen's home. In 2021 and 2020, I marvel at this. People are willingly putting the devices in their home for the government. So you are actually depriving yourself of one of your rights to privacy. These little cameras here on top of our computers, according to Edward Snowden, I don't know if you guys know who Edward Snowden was. He's saying that the government is using these cameras to record everything.
Yeah, I felt like those Jones always on too. That's why I put tape on them.
Yeah, they're more than likely on. Why the government would need to survey their people like that, or keep surveillance on their people? There's a lot of different reasons, but it's definitely a violation of the Bill of Rights. So let's go through a couple of our Bill of Rights. Okay, the First Amendment. There is a acronym that I use for the First Amendment when I'm teaching people, and I know it sounds a little weird, but it's RAFF, R-A-F-F. Okay, and this acronym. So I'll read the First Amendment to you. The First Amendment provides several rights protection to express through speech and press, to assemble or gather with a group to protest for other reasons, to ask the government to fix the problem. It also protects the right to religious beliefs and practices.
Should we be taking notes?
What's the matter?
Should we be taking notes?
You can, because I'm going to ask you when you go what amendment you learned today. Or what did you learn about one of the Bill of Rights? So our First Amendment, with that RAFF, it's freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, and freedom of religion. So religion, assembly, press, and speech. I'm sorry. Religion, assembly, press, and speech. That's the first four things that the First Amendment gives. So the first right in America that you have is the right to free speech. Why do you think that the founders of the Constitution made that the First Amendment? Why would freedom of speech be so important to them?
I guess for like so long people couldn't really say what they wanted to, so they made a law like you could say what you want.
Absolutely. That's absolutely correct. They were underneath the rule of the British at the time. They were colonies. And when they decided to make the Bill of Rights, that was one of the first things. It's the first one right off the bat. It says freedom of speech and freedom of press. Why is the freedom of press, even today, such a pressing issue in this country? I'm going to put something in the chat, and I want you to respond to these two words. Tell me, have you ever heard these words and what it means? This is a relatively new, this is a new word to our lexicon nationally. What does the two word fake news mean? What is that? When you hear that term, fake news,
A lie, basically.
okay, something that's not truthful, correct. All right, excellent. Sammy, I see you snuck in there. Give us some of your some of that cerebral power that you got. Thank you. Right on cue, Sammy. Thank you. Lies. Okay. What about deception? I think it goes to lies, deception, misinformation. Let me ask you a question. What if someone printed a negative article about you? Even if it was true, it was negative. Would be the easiest way to discredit that person. All right, I'll change it. I'll make it a little different. Gentlemen first, okay? I know most of you guys are of the age of being men. How many men here have been told by their girl that they're not telling the truth? Come on, guys, don't crap out on me now. How many men or women have told their boyfriend or told their opposite, their partner that they're not telling the truth? No one? No one's ever been lied to?
I don't know about a partner, but my mom be telling me that I'm not.
Okay, so your mom. Okay. Wouldn't it be convenient that every time that someone said something negative about you, you could just scream fake news? If you had someone in the house or someone in your life say, oh, you're a liar, you're a deceiver, you're a cheater, and you just say, you're fake news. Right? It's kind of easy to dismiss that person, right? That's what's up, Sammy. Stay loyal. It may not always pay out, but you'll have your own self-respect. That's a good thing. So our First Amendment provides us with the freedom of speech. The freedom of religion was important to the people that established this country because of oppression. So in the United States, you can have any religion that you want. You can say what you want. You can assemble and you can protest. Now, is there a difference between protest and rioting?
Protests are supposed to be peaceful, riots damage stuff and property.
Absolutely. Thank you. Once protest becomes violent, it is no longer a peaceful protest. It becomes a riot or an unlawful assembly, which is illegal. So our First Amendment, we can just remember religion, assembly, and our two freedoms, freedom of speech and the freedom of press. So our Second Amendment, does anyone know what the Second Amendment is? This is probably the most debated and heated of the Bill of Rights, especially right now. What is the Second Amendment? The right to do what?
To carry a gun.
That's right. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. Okay, that doesn't mean you can wear short sleeves, okay? Not bear arms, to be able to carry a weapon, to protect yourself. That's a fundamental truth in the United States of America. The Second Amendment protects the right to keep and bear arms. Does anyone know our Third Amendment? This one's going to be a hard one. Most people on the street wouldn't be able to tell you what the Third Amendment is. Ms. Cat, what's the Third Amendment?
You don't have to have a soldier forced in your house.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, sir. So the Third Amendment is illegal quartering, okay? Which means that soldiers cannot be kept in civilian homes ever. And the reason that this was going on is because during the American Revolution, the British would take people's homes and put their soldiers in the homes and take the people out, which could be very problematic. I mean, imagine being at home and a bunch of soldiers show up your door and say, we need to stay here now. That is something that's not fair. So the Third Amendment prevents any soldiers from being in your home. Good. Looks like we'll just do 5 today. Let me get through them. Got enough time. What's the Fourth Amendment? Illegal what? Protects you. This is what Kanaya was talking about in the Kalia was talking about in the video. What is the Fourth Amendment?
Illegal search and seizure.
Excellent, Jaden. The Fourth Amendment protects you against illegal search and seizures. Now we're going to revisit this one because this is probably a lot of people go to jail because they don't know this amendment. So practicality, just a practical example real quick. Let's say you're on Broad Street, you're just driving along, and a cop pulls you. Let's say it's just you and your girlfriend, or you and a friend of yours, or you and your brothers or sisters, and they say license, registration, insurance. You provide license, registration, insurance. Does a police officer have a right to search your vehicle?
No, not without a warrant or reasonable cause.
Excellent. Reasonable. And you're taking that right. That's coming right from the amendment. Excellent, Jaden. That is unreasonable search and seizure. What do cops need? But if they have a warrant, right, they can search. But they need something called probable cause. So I know some students that said they drive. Let me change that scenario, okay? So listen to what I'm saying. Let's say you're in the same exact scenario. You have your license, registration, insurance. You're driving down Broad Street. Cops pull you over. And when they pull you over, you roll your windows down, and all of a sudden, billows of smoke start coming out of your car. And I'm not talking about cigarette smoke. I'm talking about the other smoke coming out of your car. Does a police officer have a right to search you?
Yeah.
Yes. Because you have provided him with what they call PC, which is probable cause. So they believe that you're doing something criminal. Can they search you? What if a cop says, I need to search your vehicle? What should be your response?
You don't give them consent to search.
And
Absolutely.
you should relate to the Third Amendment. I mean, the Fourth Amendment. Like, try to bring it back to the.
What if the police officer doesn't know the Fourth Amendment?
You should be like, I would like to sustain my right to use the Fourth Amendment
Okay.
of unreasonable search and seizure.
What if that
Tell him
flies
look
right
it
over
up.
the cop's head and he doesn't understand what you're saying?
Tell them look it up.
Then he shouldn't be a cop.
You think? I'm going to tell you how to handle that situation. I would simply put my hands together like this and say, you have 2 options, sir. You may either release me, detain, or arrest me. Otherwise, I want my lawyer. I don't talk to cops. That is your legal right. You do not, and I'm going to show you videos over the course of this unit of people expressing their right to remain silent. A police officer, you do not have to answer questions from a police officer either. Where are you going? None of your business. What do you do for a living? It's none of your business. If they get aggressive, don't be afraid. It's none of his business. If he takes you to the police station in handcuffs, you have the right to sue him for false imprisonment. So let him. Don't resist. Let him take you to the station, be processed, bail yourself out, or have someone bail you out, and then sue him for false imprisonment. And our Fifth Amendment. We should all know our Fifth Amendment. What's our Fifth Amendment? The right not to do what to ourselves? The fancy word is incriminate.
To not snitch on yourself.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. You have a right from the Constitution not to snitch on yourself. You cannot be forced to testify against yourself. So if I would say, Jaden, where were you the night of February 2nd at 8 o'clock, and you knew that you were doing something criminal, you can simply invoke the Fifth Amendment. It also provides that most people don't know the second part of the Fifth Amendment, which is called double jeopardy, which means you cannot be tried for the same crime twice. If you are charged in court for a crime and you are not convicted, you cannot be charged again. So real quick, our First Amendment: religion, assembly, speech, press. Our Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. Our Third Amendment prevents government from forcing homeowners to allow soldiers in their homes. Our fourth is illegal search and seizure. And our fifth is the right to not incriminate ourselves, to tell on ourselves. So we have about 7 minutes left in class. So I want you to think about those 5 amendments. In the chat, I want you to either verbally or in the chat, I want you to tell me one of the amendments that you learned today and what it means. So I'll just go around. Mark, are you still with us, Mark?
Yeah.
What amendment did you learn today?
Right to bear arms.
And what number amendment is that, Mark?
2.
Thank you. Nazir, can you tell me an amendment you learned today?
The Fourth Amendment, the one with your privacy.
Okay, illegal search and seizure. Excellent. Jaden. You seem to know your Constitution pretty well. Is there any of these that you didn't know?
No, I learned this in like
You cut off there, Jaden. Nakaya, can you tell me an amendment that you learned from the Bill of Rights, which one it is and what it provides?
if you can hear me, my internet connection going out, so I can't hear the audio. So I'm gonna leave and come back if there's still class left.
Okay, Jaden, that's fine. Nakaya, can you hear me? Kalia?
Yeah.
Can you tell me an amendment that you learned today?
Huh?
Can you tell me an amendment that you learned today? You can put it in the chat also. Is that Raji for iPhone? Okay, Nakai.
No, Naima.
Naima. Oh, no, I can see your name, Naima. I have another iPhone there. Naima, why have you on the line? Okay, thank you, Nakai. The right to self-incrimination, the Fifth Amendment, not to self-incriminate. Naima, can you tell me one of the amendments that you learned today and what it provides and the number of the amendment?
All this. I was not in this class the whole time. I just got here like 15 minutes ago.
Okay. All right. Can somebody help Naima out? Sammy.
The Fifth Amendment.
The Fifth Amendment? Okay. And what does the Fifth Amendment provide?
When like the video when I was bringing up how the lady didn't answer the question, she pleaded the Fifth.
All right, excellent. So the right not to incriminate ourselves. Good. Thank you, Sammy.
That's Kalia.
Oh no, Sammy sent me. I know it's Kalia. I'm saying Sammy sent me a direct message at the same time. So I was just responding to him and you at the same time. Thank you, Kalia. Ashley, are you there? You can send it in chat. Trying to think what I did. Mark, Nazir, Micaiah, Kalia, Bev.
Huh?
You still with us, Bev?
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell me an amendment that you learned today and what it provides and the number of the amendment?
The First Amendment.
What is the
And
first
it provides
amendment?
freedom of speech. Freedom of speech.
Good, excellent. Yes, Deja, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I did good.
All right, so is there anyone that I did not get a response from yet? Raji, are you there? Janae,
Yes.
can you tell me one of the amendments that you learned today and what it provides?
Did anybody say the third one yet?
No, nobody has yet.
Yeah, I didn't know that one. All the other ones I knew. I didn't really know about the soldier one.
Okay, so the Third Amendment provides what right to citizens?
That wasn't that a soldier can't walk into your house or something like that.
That's right. The Third Amendment makes quartering of soldiers illegal. Okay, so that's a start into the Bill of Rights. So we look again, our first 5 amendments. Our First Amendment gives us the freedom of speech, assembly, protest, peaceful protest, not rioting, and it also protects religious freedom in the United States. Our Second Amendment is the right to keep and bear arms. The Constitution says that the right to bear arms shall not be infringed, which is kind of like an older time word. It just means that it's not going to be, that they can't stop us from the right to bear arms. Our Third Amendment, was just brought up, prevents the government from forcing homeowners to allow soldiers to use their homes. Our fourth, which is going to be very interesting as we go through this term, because we talked a little bit about should the government be tracking our devices, our phones? So that illegal search and seizure, is that something that we have got to a point in a society because of technology? Have we kind of abdicated? Have we given that right back to the government for our own illegal search and seizures? We also talked about out in a traffic stop. A police officer does not have a right to search you without a warrant. And then our Fifth Amendment. So our Fifth Amendment provides us with that we cannot incriminate ourselves. We cannot be forced to testify against ourselves. And we cannot be tried for the same offense twice. So it's just basically due process of law. The Sixth and Seventh Amendment, we'll get to that. That's a fair and speedy trial and a trial by your peers. The eighth is cruel and unusual punishment. And the ninth is our annulments clause. And the ninth and 10th have to do with states' rights and rights that weren't specifically mentioned in the Constitution. Things such as taxes. A lot of things are left to the states and individual rights. Okay, so that's our first 5 amendments. I got each of you guys to respond and tell me what amendment that you learned. Anyone that came in late, we started class off by doing the Summit codes and our Zoom links. Are there any students that came into the room who need any of the Summit codes for this course or any of the Zoom links for this unit? I can simply send you an email. So no one needs the Zoom links, and everyone's registered for Summit. Well, I want to say thank you so much. It's a very highly populated class. I'm glad everyone came out. I'm trying to do some more interactive things. I need to get some Nearpod training. I want to do a little bit more interactive stuff with you. But thank everybody for coming out. Your first checkpoint will go up at the end of the week, and it'll probably have something to do with what we learned today. I wanted to get through all 10 amendments, but we got through 5. But I'm glad that some students were able to learn some things about the first 10 amendments. So I'm just going to do a check out for attendance on the way out the door. I think I had like, how many kids we had today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 14 kids. That's a high percentage of kids out of 22. So very good way to start the unit. Glad for all the feedback. So all the folks that came, welcome. Mark, Jaden, all the new students, welcome. You folks have a good day. Thank you for your input, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Okay. Thank you, Miss Cat, for your opening this morning. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for letting me sit in on this fun class.
They said it was going to be boring. All right.
Yeah.
Have a great day.